what? Boy, he's the worst editor. Hello, y'all. This is your girl, Beautifully Nana, with our first episode of Beautifully Us podcast. So we are here live. My girls are in the building. I'm going to start introducing them. Miss Dawn. Look, my. Sorry for my delay. My editor over here. Hey, love bug. How you doing today?
Doing great. How are you?
We doing wonderful. Thank you for being here. I'm gonna bring everybody else up. We got Miss Nikki Royale in the building. Hello, Miss Beautiful Nikki. How you doing today?
I'm doing well. How you guys doing?
Good, love. And we got last but not least, Miss Exclusive in the building.
Yeah.
Hello, ma'am. Hey, ladies.
Hey.
Thank you so much for even being here today. Just to have open
Congratulations.
discussion and talk. I hope y'all started out with y'all wine. We got our drink ready. You ready? Look at y'all. Y'all on assignment. I'm so proud of y'all. How was y'all day today?
It was boring. Totally boring. Totally boring. I work in a cubicle.
How was your day, Miss Exclusive?
Oh man. My day started out with my mom hitting me with a, hey, call me. I got a quick question. And I literally just got off the phone with her 6.5 hours later, about 20 minutes ago.
Oh, wow. Okay. That
we done did her taxes and everything. Yeah.
Well, at least she got something done. Miss Nikki, what you get into?
Well, I had doctor's appointment this morning. I'm, getting prepped for surgery. Something a lot of us women deal with. I have to get a partial hysterectomy due to fibroids. So, I'm really excited though, so I can be better.
Yeah, definitely.
Understand.
I dealt with that. I had cervical cancer, so I definitely can understand. Dealt with all of that. But ladies, let me start out and let you guys introduce yourself and tell me a little bit about you guys. Let's start with Dawn, because I know Miss Dawn. Tell me about you.
Okay. So yeah.
Why are you even named the Dawn? Because I know that ain't even your name. So tell me about you.
Well, it's a lot of ways that can go. People started calling me Dawn in high school for some odd reason. My name is Adonis, like Adonis Creed. So they started calling me Dawn. And then when I started my poetry and started my brand, my cousin, she wanted me, I wanted something surrounding the sun, like something that was like something that wakes you up. And she just kept saying Dawn, call it, say DAWN. And I was like, I don't know if it's going to hit. I don't think it's going to hit. And I just kept saying it. And then after a while, it just kind of stuck because people kept calling me Dawn anyway. So I just changed how I spelled it.
Well, hey, I still like it. And it was very creative. Hey. It definitely works for you. So shout out to her for giving you that.
Yeah, she is the one. I have to keep giving her credit because if I don't, she's going to get
mad. So, Miss Nikki Royale, is Royale really your name?
Well, I am. I do consider myself a little Royale. Nikki came from, my middle name, which is Nicole. My dad calls me Nikki, and my dad's side of the family. And Royale came from my grandmother's name is Queen. So, I just did a little spin on it and put it all together. And what do you get?
Nikki. Well, like that, Queen.
I'm gonna name Nicole too.
Hey, all right.
So,
yeah.
So, Miss Exclusive, how did you become Miss Exclusive?
Actually, I became exclusive because I joined a woman's sisterhood sorority, a non-collegiate sorority. It was an opportunity for me to step outside the box a little bit. So I went through the whole process of being online, and Exclusive is actually my soror name, but it just stuck. It sticks with my personality. Before that, I was Melissa the Journey. And on my TikTok, I'm Melissa the Cliffhanger. So it literally just kind of goes along with my personality. And so I just decided to adopt it all together.
Wow, it definitely suits you.
Thank you.
It fits very well. So you did pick a great name. So I definitely love that. So ladies, I know that one thing that you beautiful ladies all have in common is that you do poetry. And the last thing that you guys were affiliated with was Poetry Life competition. We're not gonna talk too much into that, but how did you ladies even begin to put the pen to the pad or start writing? Miss Dawn, you want to start?
Yeah. I've been writing like all my life. I wanted to be a rapper when I was a kid for some odd reason. So I used to just write raps when we were like going outside with my friends. And I fell in love with poetry a long time ago, but I never started actually writing until senior year in high school. And I did it for a senior project just because they said do a poem for this assignment. And I was like, I'm gonna just write one. And then I wrote one and the class was kind of like stuck. Like they were like, did you write that? And I was like, yeah, I wrote it. And it was like, do it again. And then from there, they put me in a competition. And then after that, it was just like, I should probably keep writing.
Very much so. Miss Nikki Royale, how did you start?
I started writing. Well, number one, I've always been into learning new things, and vocabulary was like one of my, I'm a little nerd when it came to vocabulary. So
Nothing wrong with that.
as I had started getting older, I started just journaling at first, and then as I got into my teenage years, just going through different phases of life and going through different situations, I just started putting my pen to the pad and writing actual poetry versus just, diary type entries. Mm-hmm. And I really feel like it helped me get through a lot of things in my life. Mm-hmm. A lot of it I never really shared with anyone. It was just really like my own personal thoughts and things like that. But I've always wrote, and I've always loved like English. I took like 4 English classes in college. I'm a little nerd.
Hey.
Nerd. I like to write, and I like to write papers. I like to read books. So I'm very literal. And so I like it just fit. So that's it.
It's exclusive. How did you start out?
Same therapy. For me it was the things I couldn't say out loud because either temperament or you just don't want to get anybody in trouble, or it's the things that you really hide from yourself, or you're just trying to get it out the way. So for me, it was junior high. I think I might have kind of tapped into it. I've always been a person who draws people just in conversation. Mm-hmm. I could think I'm just having a plain old conversation with somebody and they're so engulfed in whatever it is I have to say. So people have been telling me, you should write. But I'm old school. I'm lunchroom with the fellas. I never really was with a gang of girls. I'm lunchroom with the fellas, freestyling, beating on the lunchroom table. Like that was me in high school. So quite like the Don said, and even like Nikki said, it's just something that kind of grew with me. And now is just the time that I'm opening the book to the public, so to speak, and allowing people to see that part of me that just was between me, my pen, and my paper.
That's what's up. Thank you, ladies. Now, with that being said, do you think it's tough as you guys being women in this industry because y'all just left a competition where y'all went up against men? We did have a man that did win it, but what do you think? Do you think it is tough in your guys' lane for people to actually hear you guys out because y'all are women, or you think it's just an even playing field with the poetry scene?
It might be even, because poetry is just expression. So it's like if you already like captivating when you get on the stage, it doesn't matter. You could be white, black, purple. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter who you are, as long as you're captivating on the stage. I think you grab anybody in. So it's like it's an even playing field to me.
Yeah, I feel the same, that it's even, because at the end of the day, if you got the people, you got it.
Yep.
That's it.
Yep.
And I think it's even to the audience. I think the only place we may lack as females is image. And the only reason why I say image is because there's a lot of cookie cutter. There's a lot of look-alike, a lot of clone people. And sometimes I think that we get miscategorized if we don't fit into that Barbie box. So I think sometimes we have to work harder to captivate attention. But I feel like once you have it, that's it.
So with that being said, Miss Exclusive, do you think that your poetry has to be a sexual type thing to captivate your audience? Do you think it's what your attire has to be to captivate the audience? Like, I mean, how do you, because most things are sex appeal. So I
Mhm.
definitely, do you think this is
Yeah.
one of those things where sex appeal wins, or just your words and what you bring wins?
I think um I think it depends, because everybody, there are some people who aren't interested in poetry because they're not on that level. They're not to that depth. They just want something that's on the outskirts and pretty and quick. So I think it depends on the mentality of the audience as far as who you or who you capture. You know, some people like catfish. Some people just want, they want seal or turtle or something to that degree. So I think that who we attract or how we attract them says a lot about the audience in general. Some people just aren't ever going to be interested because we're never going to be, to some of us, are never going to be that cookie cut, or never going to be that Barbie. Then you have people who are like your Commons, your Erica Badu's, your Jill Scotts, and they're flawless. I don't care if they got on a bonnet and some bloomers, they are flawless. You know what I mean? So I think it just depends on the mindset of the people who appreciate that craft.
Mm,
Definitely.
How do you ladies feel about it, Don, Nikki?
yeah. So, I mean, that's a great aspect of it too. You do have to appeal to your demographic. You have to appeal to, who's going to be gravitate to what your liking is. But I also do feel like it's, who you are. Like, if you're a sensual person, or a sexual being, we're all sexual beings. But, if you're in tune with your sexuality and you don't mind speaking about it, it's just that if that's coming off like that, then it could be received because of you being true to who you are. You know what I mean?
Cool. So stepping outside of that, and venturing off a little bit, being Black women in general, what is the number one thing that you think that you guys struggle with, or that we as women struggle with, going
Mm.
on in today's society?
What?
Ooh.
Oh, I mean, we don't even have to label it as Black women. Just say women as in general,
Oh,
because we still have this fight with men versus women, or new age and old school, and like, I mean, how is your feeling on the way things are going right now?
mm.
Ooh. Well, I just feel like nowadays, it's really hard out here for women, um, due to what we already touched on. Fitting.
Someone's gonna do it.
That's me. Sorry.
So, yeah, trying to get into a certain persona. You know, even in the just Black community itself, something that has been going on for forever, which it totally just sucks. The colorism thing. Um, so, and then also just trying to find love, even, trying to find a mate that you're equally yoked with, because everyone is looking for something superficial. No one is looking for something that's, genuine or original. Everybody want what they see on social media and on
Hmm.
television,
Mm.
and not real life. And some people have reality very skewed. So
Hmm. Very much so, Miss Don. But she'll take on it.
So that was good. That was good. I'm gonna piggyback off her just as far as like our perception of reality. But also too, it's like for women, the more that we're like becoming more successful, because it's a thing where we're making more money. We are going into these rooms and we're getting these deals. And we're having this level of independence that is commendable, but it's also like leaving us, like she said, kind of lonely, kind of not being able to find love and things like that. So it's like, where is the balance of the women having their successes and then still having their family? Like, I'm not seeing that. And also, it's just like, I watched the interview and it was kind of what I'm trying to explain now. Like, the more some women do get independent, they become more masculine than feminine, and we're losing femininity in this time and age. the feminine energy is kind of just is dying off, and everybody wants to be competitive. Everybody wants to, not saying that we can't, but there's just a certain way women are supposed to handle themselves, and we're not doing that anymore.
I agree. I definitely agree. So, ladies, if it's one thing that you could tell your past self and your future self, what would it be?
Exclusive.
Mm.
Exclusive. You guys.
Don't be afraid to choose you first.
Okay. And what would your future self?
What would my future self say?
Now, and if you could go tell your future self something, what would you tell your future self? Now you went back and be able to the same thing?
I would tell myself the same. Now it's your time.
Got it. Got it. Miss Nikki Royale?
My past self, I would say, don't stop giving too many chances. That's what I would tell my past self.
Okay.
Myself, I would say, always go with your gut feeling.
Cool. Miss Dawn?
Exclusive stole one of mine, ain't gonna lie. My past self, I would definitely tell my past self to seize opportunities. It's not going to be given to you. Nothing is given to you, not for free, at least. So seize the opportunity. Whenever you feel like you're ready, take that chance. My future self, so it's crazy because it's kind of like a duality. So like I would tell my past self to seize the opportunity, but then I tell my future self to slow down on certain things. Certain things don't require, just a certain level of speed. You do need to be able to be in the moment and be present. So yeah, I would tell my future self that.
Okay. Now, it's always this thing out here in the world where we have these social medias, we have the Don, the exclusive, the acronyms that we go by, and people assume that they know us or already make this book about you. What is one thing that if you could set straight or tell the world, what would it be? Like, I mean, what is one misconception that you would like to kill, or just tell the world something, or or who you are that we don't know?
Well,
I'll go first. I'll say the perception about me is that I'm mean. And it absolutely is not that. There's just a difference between playing and playing in my face, and I address them accordingly.
Oh man,
okay. Miss Dawn.
I get the perception that like I'm a pushover, that I'm just too nice. She just doesn't stand up for herself at all. And it's not the people that like know me personally, or like, that my real loved ones, they know I can get pretty assertive. I just choose to be very nice because I like to be nice.
Miss Nikki Royale.
I'm just all the way 1 million with y'all. I really don't know. I don't give a what.
Hey.
You feel me?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, shout out to you. I look, that is exactly how we all should be. And look, I thank you for your honesty, because that's all the hell it is. We're gonna be honest, because you know my motto. You be you always. If they don't like it, fuck them.
Hey.
I mean, that's just it. That's all. Piggybacking off of exclusive, this whole thing. Is it fair to say that we're the angry Black woman, or is it that we're the driven Black woman? I'm just, or we're getting it confused, because I see, like exclusive is saying, because I'm a nonsense type approach person, because I have children, I know all the things that I'm balancing on a day to day. Does that make me mean, or does that make me a person that is going after being driven? Do y'all think that we get mislabeled as Black women? And I'm going to put this as Black women because we have this stereotype as Black women. So now I'm going to generalize us as that. Do you think that we're constantly being mislabeled? Or is it appropriate? Because I got another question to backdoor that one.
I feel like being labeled.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think, exclusive?
I think it's perception. I think people have become more sensitive. They are equally as hard and harsh as they are more sensitive. People see people as disposable. So they don't even give it an effort anymore. And so I feel like people are very, if I don't like what you say, fuck you and the horse you rode in on, or whatever the case may be. So people don't appreciate wisdom. They don't appreciate honesty. They don't appreciate, hey, I just need a second. My the one poem your husband has, my life, not yours, right? So it's literally, people don't appreciate giving you the space to de-escalate at the end of your day or at the end of something major. You have to always be on the ready, on the go. You stay ready so you don't have to get ready. So I think that when that is lost or that is squeezed out of you, it leaves you to only be able to capture the rawest moments with people, because you're trying to hurry up and condense some things so you can get back to, okay, I got a moment to myself. And people misinterpret that a lot. People feel like, people get offended because you don't have your time to consistently give them. And so, yeah, I think the perception then comes off wrong. We're meant to be submissive, or looked at to be submissive to men who aren't healed. So the way that they treat you is not in a way that a woman should be treated, but they're still expecting the expectations of submission. And the same with us. We're expecting for a man to be a man, but we're playing tug of war with the pants. I want to wear them, but you can have them. But I want to wear them, but you can have them. And I feel like things are just getting blurred in responsibilities.
Correct. Now, with that being said, as well, how are y'all feeling about the way society is going? That you're constantly, like you were saying, if you don't like what I say, then you censor me out. The fact that we as people seem like we don't have our own individual voices anymore. If you don't agree with me and I'm on a high platform, then I cancel you out. And which is not fair. Or that everybody is supposed to be a winner. Let me reclassify that. And I say that because, you know, we have the LGB. If you say something on that, you're wrong. If you say something on Black people, you're wrong. If you go do something, you're wrong. But being in today's society, what am I necessarily trying to say? Is everybody a winner to you guys? Because, you know, back in the day when we were growing up, and Don, no shots to you, you're a little bit younger than me and Nikki and Exclusive, but we got participation awards. We got runner-up awards. You know, it was a first, second, and third. You know, now society is everybody is a winner. It's supposed to be. Are y'all feeling like that's okay? I mean, or is it a thing that we should be like, no, you can't be a winner. Yeah, you got to try harder.
I would say at the end of the day, everybody is a winner in their own lane, period. Correct. But you have to find your lane.
Correct. But is everything supposed to be handed to you?
No, everything is not supposed to be handed to you. And that a lot of that mentality is on how people are raised, and the kind of environments that they are brought up in. If you have a kid and you raise them and you're giving them everything, they're going to grow up entitled. They're going to feel like, well, this is supposed to be given to me. Even when they get out in the real world, you have not prepared them properly. So when they get out there and they get told no, they don't know how to deal with it.
Correct.
Now, if you raise a kid to work hard for the things that they want, they appreciate things more. And when they do go off into their adult life, they know what hard work is. They appreciate things more. And they're not so closed in the box. They become very productive citizens. They're not closed-minded. They're more compassionate to people. They empathize with people better because they understand, you know, how life is and how life goes. You know, if you're open with your kids, because as adults, we all have struggles. We all have had times in our lives when we were struggling. We probably was barely making it or what have you. Some people will try to shelter their children from those moments. And I can understand that to a certain degree. But at the same time, we are human and we need to let them know, like, hey, I'm going through this. One day you may go through this. So you need to show them, like, hey, even if you do fall, we always can rise back up, because you don't ever want them to get to the point to where in their life they fall and they don't know how to pick themselves up, and they end up falling into depression or finding other avenues to try to suppress those problems and those issues.
So do you think things like that happen because the lack of God in the household or spiritual being in the household, or some of that nature? Because I
would say
that's
of things. You know, a lot of households don't have fathers, or a lot of households don't have mothers. A lot of households are just not two-parent households anymore. And even if a household isn't two-parent, if you have two good co-parents, they can also be just fine. But you have so many people have ego problems and pride.
Now to backdoor off of what you're saying, and I'm just gonna slide over into, do you necessarily think the baby mama and the baby daddy aspect and the co-parenting thing is going? Because what we have a lot of is baby mamas are putting guys on child support that are doing stuff, and you have mothers that are not. So do you think the playing field is fair? Because you got bad mothers and you got bad fathers.
It's not fair.
And I think we kind of forget sometimes, and we always give the woman the higher standard and forget that you still got some good males out here that we don't uplift.
You do.
And I think there's the selfish side of it. When it comes to some women, I mean, do you feel like that's kind of like a lot of the downfall, what's going on in today's society? Looking at a lot of the struggle, I think it's a parent struggle. Do y'all feel
Yeah, definitely.
I don't feel like we could co-parent. We knew at the end of the day that we might not get along, but I think it's very hard for people to rise above, like you said, their selfishness, their own egos.
I tell people a lot of times, because I speak to a lot of women about this very exact issue, and I always pose a question to them. I always, because, you know, I love my child, I love my babies, or what have you, right? But do you really love your kid? Do you love your kid enough to stop being petty? Do you love your kid enough to act like an adult? Do you love your kid enough not to deprive them of their other parent? Because still upset about something that happened between you and him?
So another question I have for both ladies, and Don, I'm gonna move off of this, so it's not too much on it. It was a lady that I saw on another platform that decided that she was hurt in life, and her way of being hurt, or was absent father and absent love, was she wanted to have children. Or she had this child, and she thought that this child was going to fill that void that turned out to did not do it. And then she turned out to say she didn't have those feelings for a mother. And then she decided to give her rights to the father and thought it was the best for that child to be with its father. Do y'all think that makes you less of a mother, or that makes you a great mother to give up your child and to realize that I can't be this woman that I need to be for this child, and I'll pay child support, I'll do the opposite role? Do you think that's less of a woman to be able to say that?
Oh
no.
I commend just the bravery of going against what we call the norm of that, you know, the mother being the primary caregiver, and then saying, hey, I'm gonna do what's best for the child, because that's what it all ultimately comes down to, the best decision for the child. That means taking yourself out of the situation and really analyzing what's going to be the environment for that child to thrive.
Exactly. Yeah. Definitely.
Now, one thing that also that is going on, therapy. Do you think it's anything wrong with therapy? Because, you know, the thing in, again, Black family, what didn't kill you made you stronger. What goes on in my house, stay in my house. You don't tell anybody. So with all of that being in the past, and all the hurt and things that's going on, do you think that therapy is a good thing and something different that we need to change as a culture?
It's definitely.
I think it's healthy. I am a mother who has both suffered from mental health, come from a mother who had mental health issues, and then saw that go through my children. And I had to be transparent enough not to hide what was wrong with me, so that they wouldn't feel like they had to swallow what was wrong with them. And I'm also a person who lived a 5-day-a-week church life. So it was if you can't lay it at the altar at the feet of Jesus, then that's it. You know what I mean? There is no therapy. You can go see your pastor, you can pray, but then I would get up and still feel suicidal, just to be transparent. And then I had to sit on the other side of a table in a mental health ward and have a conversation with my own daughter who was suicidal, and reveal things about me that I thought I was keeping from her to keep her safe, and never really paid attention to the fact that she now was suffering through those things and was trying to stay strong and not mention it, which then sent her into something that was beyond her control. And the whole time she was thinking, oh, prayer. I can't say this to my mom because she's just going to direct me back to the feet of Jesus. And don't get me wrong, gone over there. But while you over there, ask who, him to reveal a therapist or something that will help you. I don't care if you got to sit down and smoke a blunt, whatever it takes. So yeah, for me, that's 3 and 4 generations this way, and trying to stop it before it gets 3 and 4 generations the opposite direction.
Right.
Do you guys feel in the Black community that we're very passive aggressive as Black people? This families, because we always say we're our brother's keeper, our sister's keeper, but in actuality, we do a lot of things to pat things. We don't stop a lot of things. We enable a lot of things. And we don't make people accountable. And then we're kind of passive aggressive. Do you feel like as the Black community that we are like that? Do we hold individuals accountable? Do we really tell them what they want to hear? Let's say that. Or what they need to hear, not what they want to hear, what they need to hear. Do we say that?
No. I'm gonna piggyback off of exclusive. It's due to mostly because they see the problem in themselves too. So they won't speak up on it because maybe they're the part of the problem. Mm-hmm. Maybe they witnessed the problem and they know that their input could have been a game changer and they didn't say nothing. So now time has went by, and it's better to not say anything because it's going to bring up old wounds. It's going to bring up the past. It's going to bring up the childhood. It's going to bring up the trauma. So it's better to stay quiet because, well, I'm not going to say it's better. That's what they end up doing, because it's just less painful. But people need to start like with the therapy and the speaking and communicating and bringing our families together, because they need to start communicating those things. Because just like Exclusive said, which really just triggered me, it just makes me feel like, I like I'm not the only one, but it's the fact of like the generations down, because I am the youngest one. So it's like, I'm a generation behind y'all, but I can see through my peers and my cousins, my brothers and sisters, then up to my mom, then up to her mother and her mother. And it's like the pattern that you're like, no one said anything. No one. And it's like, and then it came down to me, and I'm I'm the baby per se, 26 years old still, but I can see things and I'm speaking about it, but no one said anything. No one said, and then not only saying that, like, it's only probably one person out the family that may have your back, but then she won't go too far either, because she's like, nah, I can't go against mom, can't go against grandma, like, things like that. And then that's where the generational sickness comes in, the generational curse, the generational dysfunction, because no one stops it.
I'm gonna speak on this subject as well. So I have a very small circle of friends because I am a big communicator, and I'm gonna say what needs to be said,
right?
Whether you like it or not. I actually, in a situation now, one of my really good friends, she was going through, a situation, and I noticed the situation. I reached out to her, tried to send her some encouraging words, just letting her know I'm there for her, and she took it just totally to the left.
So with that being said, as a friend, how do you take that? Most people will back off and not fool with them, or do you give them space?
Well,
because it takes time.
Right. And so, like, I always give somebody space to figure it out, because they got to figure out their own. Because at the end of the day, regardless of what someone comes and tells us, we don't know everything because we're not there.
3 sides to every story.
We're not in the moment. So, right, we're only getting a third of it. Mm-hmm. It's kind of, you have to take that and it's kind of like they leave us to decipher, like, and try what's really going on. Because my whole thing is like, well, if it's really how you telling me, then what are you doing to change the situation, or to get out of the situation, or to better the situation? And trying to be there for a friend and have their back, what I do, because I love you with a long spoon. You feel me? I'm here for you. If you really need me, if it's dire, I'm here. I love you, but I can't be in the mix of you trying to figure it out, because as I stated, I'm not there. You are. You know what's going on. And a lot of the times, when I've had conversations with my really close friends when they're going through things, I say, well, to me, it sounds like you got all the answers. You just act on it. And that'd be a part of that'd be the problem. They know what they need to do. They know what needs to be done, but they're afraid or scared to take those leaps because they're afraid of the unknown, because they don't know what the outcome can be, what's going to happen, where they may end up. And we've all been in those kind of situations.
Exactly.
And that's the thing. People always feel like they're alone. And when you speak up to try to let people know they're not alone, they don't know how to handle it.
I definitely agree with you. But I feel like as well, we don't speak up enough. A lot of the things that we're going through, we don't ever tell the next person, and the next person is going through that same mess, but we are too busy not trying to tell somebody our business.
Right.
Because you do have some people that take your business and run it too far. And then you do have those, and I think it's a process of life where you do have to figure out who is going to be better for you and who is not going to be better for you. But I just feel like it's an avenue for us to get better. Changing subjects. Quick question: with women, do you feel as women that we're encouraging enough to each other? Because I sometimes give a woman a compliment and then you'll get this kind of look like, why is she talking to me, or she shouldn't be saying this. But why do we not as Black women encourage each other enough, or say, hey sis, you're beautiful, or hey sis, I like you? Do y'all find that being hard from other Black women?
It's just insecurities within themselves. Period. I compliment whoever, like, because you can be the most beautiful woman and the most people can look at you and you turn heads, but then when you open your mouth or
nasty,
it's ugly. Just ugly for no reason. And misery love company, and I'm not about to let you drive me into your miserableness. Now, definitely. If I'm positive on my end and I do my part, I did my part, and I'm good with it, and I'm gonna keep it moving.
That's it. But just being in this world, I feel like we should definitely be way more encouraging to each other, and uplift each other. Now, I know this is an old topic, but it cuts on what we were just talking about. R. Kelly, the incidents with R. Kelly and all that went on, all the people that were around them, that seeing this, that were. Where do you feel like people are accountable and then should start speaking up? Whether, like, because I feel like maybe it was money that people want, hey, I need this money, so I'm not going to say anything, or, oh, it's not my business, so I'm not going to say anything, or, oh, it's not affecting me, so I'm not going to say anything. But whereas we are people that are accountable, like, do we actually see somebody being robbed or raped and we just walk away because it has nothing to do with us? Do you feel like that's where we are in society?
We went right into R. Kelly.
Yeah, we did. I wanted, because it kind of goes into people are watching certain things, right, and then they're saying it's not my business,
right,
or it has nothing to do with me. At what point do we make certain things that are just fucking wrong our business? Like, this child is underage, or that this person is doing something, and then we just say, it's not my business. So, I mean, do we feel like that we should just remain that this has nothing to do with us? Or
that was hard though. That one's so hard, because just with all the money that's involved, the NDAs, you know what I'm saying, non-disclosures, all that stuff. That one's hard, because
but I mean, you done as a person. If you walked by and saw something fucked up that was going on, would you say something, Oh, it's your ass run left because, hey, I got a $10,000 check. God damn it. It ain't me. Like, would you really, what would you
I
do?
would fall victim to, if I saw R. Kelly doing wrongdoing, I would keep it pushing and definitely get my
Not
money.
even R. Kelly, just in general. Like, man, in general, that you see some fucked up shit. But they could be cutting you a check. It could be, you know, the biggest reputation move of your life. But you, I mean, is it a self-morals type shit? Or is it something saying like, hey, man, I know better, but money talks? Because, you know, a lot of people do that shit. Money talks.
I mean, even with, I would say nowadays, like you were saying, if you're just walking down the street and you see something going on, because sometimes you can get yourself put in situations and you can end up getting hurt.
Correct.
So you have to be really careful. That's why I say it's a double-edged sword.
It is. And it's not even about like just them giving us the money, like saying, oh, I'm gonna give you some hush money. It's more so like, I don't have the funds to fight that. Like if I were to say this is an accusation on a dude who got this stature, I don't have the money to go against that. Like I'm the one that's gonna be like, they gonna like, well, I got these lawyers, I got this and that to you know, to basically beat your accusation. So if I can't even combat it, then it's like it's not an even playing field for the person like, you know, little old me.
You got direct evidence, not substantial. That's what that is, baby.
Right. It's not even, it's gonna be what can I prove, or like, or just who's in my corner. Like who's in my corner that's gonna back the accusation that I give on R. Kelly. No, who's in my corner?
But you never know, because like Nana said, like Nana was saying, like, because we don't say something, we never know who else
might say
suffering with the same thing. And see, if you don't have that one person to step in and say something, and it's just gonna go swept. You know, just to put on, you know, my favorite person, Malcolm X. Listen, let me tell you something. He spoke, and he spoke the truth, and they did not like it. And what did he pay?
But he had to, you know, he had the Muslim community behind him, so he could be.
I mean,
he could talk that talk, boom, boom, boom.
He didn't have
community.
He did not. If you go watch Godfather, he did not. They threw him out to dry. They did not have Malcolm X back as much as everybody think that they did. The true story is the Muslim hood really threw Malcolm X out to dry and hung him out there and left him by himself.
Right. They didn't want him
speaking the truth that he was speaking. They did want to speak the truth, but then it was everything is in moderations. Exactly. And he was going in, especially about Kennedy. He felt like Kennedy deserved what went on, but that was something that you wasn't supposed to speak on that man, because Kennedy was great to black people. So, you know, it's so that being said, it's a lot of stuff that they don't tell us on that note. But with the Martin Luther Kings and the Malcolm X's, do y'all feel like we have that now in today's society? To me, I feel like there is no more Martin Luther Kings. There's no more Malcolm X. Now, we do go out here and we say Black Lives Matter, but all we do is video. Nobody ever goes and jumps in and say, hey, I'm going to risk my life to be able to save this young man's life. Hey, I might get my ass whooped if I go in here and push this cop off, but I'm just going to video record and say, oh my God, I just watched this man die. Do you feel like we have any more martyrs, or it's just for show as video?
I'm going to say this. I'm going to speak on a lot of what you just said. So we do have them, but they're not brave enough because they don't want to lose their life. They don't.
Yeah, well, that would mean that we ain't got them, because the ones that
we don't, because we had to lose. We lost a lot of great people to make change to where we are now. A lot of people gave up their lives just to get where we are. So you're right. No, nobody wants to die. I get it, but
there's one person that's very, very close. Is Charleston White.
Oh yeah.
Okay, Charleston White is very, very close. Even though he'll tell you he doesn't want to be, or he doesn't think that he is a Malcolm X or a Martin Luther King, but he's the type he's on the front lines. Yeah. And he's doing a lot of stuff for the community. He's doing a lot of stuff for the mothers, like of you know, rappers that lost their life, the mothers. He was doing a documentary, but it's kind of like they weren't giving him backing on that. But he's doing a lot of different work, and he's been on so many different interviews. that like you just type his name in, you'll
Oh
get
yeah.
a lot of our culture from him, and he's definitely doing a lot of good work.
Oh yeah. I definitely have been watching some of his stuff, and he's just been speaking truth about a lot of these rappers that's out here. You know, the Boosie incident where he sent the young man to jail, and didn't give him anything on that, and this man has lost his life. So it's a lot of great things that Charleston White is speaking on, but I just don't feel like we have any Martin Luther Kings or
We don't. They're gone. They're gone.
yeah.
They're gone. We're gonna
I feel like the image of people today are selfish.
Definitely, everybody is for themselves. See, this is a thing, and I speak on that a lot as well. I tell people, I say, you know, what people fail to realize is, you're not free. Your change has changed, and people are too comfortable. They've made you too comfortable. They paying you a wage. They to be, you know, non-confrontational. They paying you to keep quiet. They paying you to say, I'm gonna mind my business. But well, if I do this, then I'm gonna lose my job, or how I'm gonna pay my bills, or how I'm gonna do this and how I'm gonna do that. So that is keeping people from coming together. But what people fail to realize is, baby, the black dollar is so fucking powerful. Why do you think they want it?
Yeah.
But if we got together, we could take care of each other. But we just don't have those type of mentalities nowadays. And it freaking sucks. I hate it. I hate the crab in the barrel syndrome.
Yeah, I was just about to say, with that being said, do you think we're our own worst enemy, our own race to ourselves?
We are. We are very detrimental to ourselves. I mean, we sold drugs to our own people to make money. Guess what?
To me, I definitely see when it's time to venture out, or you ask another person about, even if you ask a person where they got something, people go as far as lying about where they got something, so you don't have what they have, or how did you get to where you got. They don't even want to share their knowledge of how they got there, so they can help they fellow man. Like, it's almost as if they want to see the next man fall, and then no offense, you rather be hanging behind the white man. So I just feel like we should be better as, you know, coming together, because again, all our ideas and all these things that are out here came from us. No offense. Like, come on, man.
They did.
It was us. It was stolen. It was a little black lady in the kitchen, KFC, all this stuff. Somewhere it was us along the lines. I'm sorry to say.
Hey, don't be sorry, baby.
But I just feel like we are very intelligent people, and they piggybacked off of us for a very long time. And at this point, it's sad that with our mind state that we haven't got, like you said, Nikki, got out of this crab in a bucket mentality. After all of this, we're still not learning very much.
Because people value possessions more than they do people.
Correct. Things that you can't take with you when you die. Which is the craziest thing. The half our community, you know, the craziest thing that I asked a lot of people, or a lot of my people, because I'm a funeral director, and I asked people, you got these Jordans, but do you have a life insurance policy? If you died today, do you have something to bury yourself, or is it left on your family? Because in actuality, like I said, I'm a mortician. My family owns a funeral home. It's not cheap.
It's not.
It's not cheap to bury somebody. It's cheaper to cremate them, but even that, it's not cheap. But we don't even think about that. We spend $20. Okay, let's say people smoke weed. We spend this $25 on the 3-5, but we don't go get a life insurance policy that we can spend that same thing a month just to make sure. I think that we as black people think we're gonna live forever.
Right. And then if they knew real, they'll just get them a whole life insurance policy that make money, and they can borrow against it, baby.
You know, it's a lot to that. You know that too. It's a lot that you can make, but people don't want to venture out to that. One last thing, lady, before we sum up, a question that I had to ask you, Miss Dawn, for you and your brand, what is the next chapter for you, and what is your brand entailing? Tell me about your brand and what you expect it to be. And
okay, yes. So my brand is Awakening 222. That's the name. So my brand is a holistic health brand. The pretty much the end goal in that is everything that I would sell or have a service of will either hit one of the 3 categories of holistic health, and that's mind, body, and spirit. So I have like so many different things I want to do. I actually want to have an actual shop where I have a lot of the things I'm going to sell. I want to sell sea moss and herbs and sage and things like that. So that's for your physical body, physical health, and your mental health. And then spiritual health as well with the sage and things like that, your meditation, things like that, journals, guided journals. I want to start that as well. And just basically I want to hit all those avenues of just being healthy and being light, being high spirited. So that is the motto for the brand. And basically I just want to help anybody and everybody that I can.
Tell me how that people can reach you for your sites and pages.
Yeah, so my main thing is Instagram. That's where you're pretty much gonna find most of my activity. So my Instagram is at Adonis with 3 S's. So it's ADONESSS. And then you can see me on Facebook, Adonis Wilburn. I'm not that really hard. There's not that many Adonises in the world, so you're pretty much gonna find me, and you will see the Poetry Life profile picture. So that will be me. And what else?
Shout out your daddy. I do have to. Glenn's Kitchen is always awesome. Anytime that Adonis comes through, I definitely have to shout out Daddy. So please tell us how we can find Glenn's Kitchen, and he does sell merch. So please tell us how we get his merch. He has a great clothing line, guys.
Right. So right now the website is going to be coming soon, but you can hit him at Glenn Wilburn. Glenn Wilburn on Facebook. Please DM him if you want to see, because he has grind hard clothing, and basically we have basically our own streetwear. And graphic tees. So, and then we do customs too. So, Grind Hard Clothing, find him at Glenn Wilburn on Facebook, and Glenn's Kitchen is on Camp Wisdom in Dallas.
Y'all go check that out. It is good.
Okay, barbecue and crab boils, chicken and waffles. We got everything. All right.
So, Miss Nikki Royale, tell me about you, your brand, what you're doing for the near future. Tell me about you and where we can find you.
Okay, so you guys can find me on a couple of places. On Instagram, it's Yellow Honey 1. That's HUNNI, the number 1. On Facebook is Nikki Hurt. That's me. Right now,
I'm so sorry. You okay, Don?
Okay, went down the wrong way, y'all.
Yeah, I did. I was on mute.
Right now, as far as my brand, I'm actually working on just branding my daughter. She is an aspiring model. She will be walking in New York Fashion Week this year. It's
number 1. DM it to me on IG.
What is that? Uh-oh.
Me finding you on TikTok. Carry on.
Oh, look, I'm like, that's not me. That's up. It's all right. These drinks probably caught up with us.
Her, her page, she's Deani the Muse. She is, doing very great. You can go and follow her journey. She's been getting a lot of great attention, and we're gonna see where it's going. So right now, my focus is more so on her versus myself. I've had many ventures on my own, and so I'm just putting it all in her at this time.
All right, not to put you on the spot. I am gonna have your lovely better half on, but she does what again? And please let us know about that, because that's something great that we all are trying to venture out and do. So yes. Please tell me about Miss Alexis. Is that right?
Yes. Okay. So, she is in the mortgage industry. So am I. So we do a lot of things that they have to do with like bankruptcy and foreclosure. And a lot of people are not really educated on the processes and the things you can do to either avoid them. If you are going into those kind of things, they have a lot of programs that you can, apply for to help save your home if you need to, so that you don't have to actually file bankruptcy if you really don't do. And so it's just things like that. And, she can talk more, to you about.
I definitely am going to have Miss Alexis on, but I wanted y'all to know that your hidden jewel is that she does help people with your credit and all this other great stuff. So if you guys are looking for that, please reach out to her. Because sometimes we don't necessarily know. We're a little shy. We want those questions. So I know that you and Miss Alexis does a great job at that. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Miss Exclusive.
Yeah.
I just got outside, so I'm
It's all right. You
So
still
I'm
got
not
you
even-
still got dreams. You still want to know where you want to be. So that's all
I
that's
just
matters.
slid on outside. So I mean, right now, my heart is on pouring out without going empty myself. So my heart and my compassion lies with women who didn't have, to sum this all up, didn't have somebody to say, hey, been there, done that. This is how, or hey, been there, done that. And I'm here if there's somebody that you need to talk to, or how can I be of some assistance to you? Not only that, but just branching out into the things that are my passion instead of putting me last, like with poetry, like with other things, just kind of giving those wisdom nuggets and being all that I can be. And knowing that that thing is for somebody else, but again, not emptying myself to do it. So that is what I'm most excited for, is to be a bridge, so to speak, or to be an ibuprofen to a headache, instead of just being the goddamn headache. But yeah, so that's kind of where my heart is. It's where my passion is. That hasn't left me for anything.
Please don't let it leave you. So how can they follow you if they would love to follow you? How can we reach out to you, Mrs.
Ooh,
Exclusive?
yeah, just I'm a little incognito. I don't.
Okay, well,
No, I'm just kidding. But no,
look,
on Facebook you can find me under Melissa the Exclusive. Melissa is Malysa. If you're looking for me on TikTok, it is Melissa the Journey, or you can look me up under the cliffhanger. And look, if nothing else, you can just catch me on the flyby, because 9 times out of 10, I'm probably ducked off somewhere.
well, if they have not known, all three of these ladies are wonderful poets, and you can find any of their work in the Poetry Life, another group that we have, but you guys can follow their work. Amazing, amazing women. You guys, I know it's Wednesday night and y'all wonderful women. Y'all have things to do. And I thank y'all for taking the time out to be here on Beautifully Us. This will not be the last time that I will get you guys to be on this forefront. And please always post what you guys do. Post your poetry. Anything that you want to reach out to, be that bridge, Miss Exclusive. So you can definitely always do that on Beautifully Us page. This page is always set out for you guys to just be open and speak your mind. But I definitely thank you for taking the time and being my first 3 tonight. It was a blessing.
That's awesome.
Absolutely. This was a blessing. Congratulations to you, Queen. I am enjoying all of this for several reasons. And I'm glad you're even here to, period.
I thank you guys. This is a new journey, but I thank you guys for stepping out and being the first 3 to step out with me tonight. It was amazing to sit down and just talk with you guys. Again, I will have you guys on my show, but I'm going to let you beautiful ladies leave. And this is all for tonight. Mwah.
All right.
What?
Man,
Bye-bye.
Nikki and Dawn, see ya. Good night.
Love y'all.
I love you to life. Bye.